said my hair looks really good, all windblown. Thanks, buddy.
It does.
Cool. How long do we got? Do you think we're about halfway through?
Yeah.
Looks that way. It's a nice day.
It's a nice day.
Today is the day before my song comes out.
That's right, Dream.
Yeah. Oh, look! You didn't think this was a promo, did you? Ah! No, I do have a song coming out tomorrow. And I spent so much time and so much effort making this song the way I wanted it to be. And I gotta say, it's like surreal and exciting time-wise that I'm finally in the phase where people are gonna hear it. Yeah. I don't know how I'm gonna do it live. I gotta, how do you do it acoustically?
I know how to do it.
How do you, yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me.
You hire MCR.
That's how you do it. That would be amazing. Gerard would probably be all into it.
And get Gerard to sing it.
Do it better.
Yeah, Gerard would kick ass with this song.
It is like constructed in a way where like a 5-piece band is really the way to nail it. But you could do a version that's acoustic.
By the time like this video comes out, they'll all have heard it. So you can just assume that everyone has heard this song.
Goodness, what do you guys want to know? Write in the comment section what you want to know.
So your minds are blown, right?
Just getting a chance to look at my hair. Fresh off the cut.
Fresh cut.
Fresh cuts. Who does that? Whose bit is that, Fresh Cuts?
I don't know. I never heard that before. I thought you made that up.
No, that's a Dave Grohl thing. Fresh Pot.
Oh, really?
It's his addiction to coffee.
Oh, I don't even know that.
He went to the hospital. That's how much coffee Dave Grohl drank. He went to the hospital.
He went to the hospital from drinking too much coffee?
He's making a Queens of the Stone Age record, and he kept on saying Fresh Pots, and I guess the assistants, whoever was at the studio,
would bring him fresh pots.
Bring him fresh pot of coffee.
So he drinks.
And he eventually.
Does he drink pots of coffee? He drinks percolated coffee.
I suppose so, because that's the bit, right?
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's not saying, "May I have a fresh espresso?"
He's not an espresso fanatic.
Make me a latte, but foam it precisely.
Like your daddy.
No, he isn't.
Daddy's a fanatic.
Anyway, back to Dream.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
Priorities.
It's about you,
mister. This video is all about fairy footage and dream talk.
That's right.
It's about what we want to manifest.
Yeah, so the song's out. You've heard it. It dropped Friday.
What do you think people would want to... What can I talk about?
They'll want to know how the hell...
Because I'm too close to it.
Okay, so let me
really
tell
know
you
how
as
other
an
people...
outsider, okay?
All right.
They'll want to know how the hell you recorded all that song by yourself. So talk about each freaking track.
Okay.
Because it's mind-blowing once they hear it. They'll be like, how did you record this without an MCR
I can do it, but like if it gets boring in a technical way, let me know.
I'll slap you.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Or mime it, and we'll add like a
already boring. Whack.
You got my eyelid there.
What?
No, my eyelash.
Oh, remember? Didn't we have a joke about eyelashes?
No.
Yeah, we did. The other day we had a joke about like a bucket of
backlash.
Backlash?
There was some ad that came on TV that was something about backlash, and then we just kept rhyming.
And we're like,
ash.
Backlashes are
Come on, get some of that hot, spicy backlash.
Exactly. That was it. I thought we were saying eyelash.
Hosted by the characters from MASH.
I was like, oh, I just want a big bowl of hot.
Come on down to the Big Bash.
A big bowl of hot, steamy eyelash. Wouldn't that be disgusting?
I love that this
steamy eyelash.
This is all part of the video about Dream.
Back to Dream. So everyone's heard Dream. They're like, how did you record it? So I guess you start off with drums, eh?
Yeah. Okay. So the first I should be looking at camera probably.
Yeah, look at camera. Everyone's like, I want to see your eyes, Aidan Gallagher.
Get closer. They do say that.
Aidan Gallagher.
My eyes and my socks, but the rest of me, no.
Yeah. show you.
So, okay, the first
Sorry.
caveat is it's you and I can joke for hours and hours.
Yeah.
And I'll never get my promo in. Well, I mean, it's not really promo if people have heard the song. It's more just like
It's too
excitement
late to
about
promo it.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, the first caveat, the first thing I should put in the preface, the first thing you need to know is I did not play the drums. I wrote the drum part, but I did not play the drums. That would be a man named Tom Plum.
It's one thing you can't do.
No, I can't play the drum. I mean, I can, but it just...
Not to this level.
It
Not to the
sounds
level
like
of,
a
not
monkey
to the
on
level of
some
this
pots
song.
and pans.
You could do some light, stuff, but not to this level.
I mean, I probably could have recorded drums if I tracked things separately, and I would have probably quantized it as needed. But drums are a big endeavor. You need to have a kit, and you need to have a big space where you can be loud. You need a lot of microphones. And I think we tracked the drums a few years before I did the bulk of the recording.
Yes.
Because there was...
We tracked it down in LA.
I learned...
a drum rental space.
Yeah, it wasn't even a studio. It was how big was that room? It might have been 10 feet by 10 feet. And it was like a practice room inside of inside of this big space. I'm babbling on.
Yes. All right. So anyways, you recorded drums.
Yeah, okay.
And then what?
We got the drums tracked, and then I pretty much just spent years trying to figure out how to
did you
get...
go to Richard Furch and start with acoustic guitar?
No. I think... Okay, so I'll tell you how the song started. This is weird. There's always this point in time when I'm filming
Everything
a YouTube video.
Everything starts on acoustic guitar, right? Did this song start on acoustic guitar?
Hold on here.
Or did it start on piano?
Let me gather my thoughts. There's always...
Hurry.
Why? What's the rush? We're in a car.
I'm joking. We're on a ferry. We're on a boat.
This is true. Got nowhere to go.
You're on ferry time.
We are in fact stuck here.
You're on ferry time.
And this is our greatest form of entertainment.
Okay, so you wrote the song on an acoustic guitar or on the piano? Which?
You want me to go back to the writing before the recording?
Yes.
Okay. All right, give me a second to figure out how to sum it down.
You woke up from a dream. Sorry.
You gotta put you gotta make a trailer. You gotta clip this and put it at the front of the video, and then flash the title card and then play the beginning of the video.
Yeah.
That's how the fancy people do it.
And credit goes to Daniel Larson for the bridge?
No, for the second chorus, he was actually, you, Mom, a couple of other people, and Daniel all said, you need something else in the second chorus. Maybe some high note or something. I was like, oh, okay. Well, and then I added in, vocals and synth. It was something like that. But no, okay. Let me tell the song in order. And by the way, it always takes me half an hour to figure out what I want to say in a YouTube video. Back when I was doing weekly videos,
so the song
this is what it would be like. I'd talk to camera and then figure out what I was going to say.
So the song was about a dog you had named Dream.
You're not helping. I realize you're here for the antagonist. It balances.
Right, that's right.
Yeah. And thank you very much, sir. It's the handshake on... Oh, that's even better. Wait. Whoops. Wait, come here. Sometimes people do that. Ow. Okay. Writing it.
What was the inspiration for the song?
The chords.
Okay.
Everyone's gonna ask me that, and I don't have the answer they want, I'm sure. No, I was sitting at a piano. We had this piano in the library back at our old house, which sounds like it was much bigger than it actually was, the library.
No, it was the library.
It had books and bookshelves.
That's where we kept our
It was
books.
by the pool.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was by the bookshelves. And we had a large work table in the center under a chandelier.
We had this piano in our house that I would come and play at every day.
Yeah.
And I was just playing just chords on a piano, and I accidentally put my hand in the wrong spot. And I heard a chord change. So I had started on one chord, and then I made a mistake, and I heard another chord, and I was like, ooh, where could that go? And then I just kept following it. And that's how I got like the pre-chorus and the chorus of the song. And I heard the word dream in a very specific spot, and I literally built the song lyrically like around that. So the song like works off of different metaphors and sort of builds a world. But that's how it started, was like a piano chord change and a word, and trying to figure out what the rest of it was. Because I could feel the vibe and what it wanted to be. And I was just trying to understand how to get there. So that was the writing. I then brought it to my computer, put the chords in, and then I started playing around with like printing out the piano as audio and reversing each of the chords so you get this swell. Then eventually I got the idea of like filtering the piano in the beginning and then gradually taking the filter off. And I think I like, in the writing and then when I was demoing it out on my computer, the only thing which would make that chorus work, because it's the same chords, is just intensity. It needed to erupt into this explosion of intensity. And that is where like the MCR guitar influence comes in. And I reached out to Gerard, and I sent him like an early demo of the song, and I explained I was trying to like chase the tone. This is way before I met Aaron or had any real experience playing electric guitar and figuring out how to get guitar tones.
Yeah,
and Gerard put me...
Weren't you going over to Gerard's house to record some other song you guys were working on?
That's something different. No, but Gerard put me in touch with Doug McKean, who has since passed, but an amazing engineer who like recorded all the guitars on the Black Parade. And, you know, Gerard told me what he recalled about the recording, and I did some research, but it really took like years of finding the right pieces and figuring out how to mix those guitar frequencies so that the thing just sounded like it was like throttling the speakers. But yeah, I don't know. What am I leaving out?
So you wrote the song on piano.
Yes.
You then took it to your laptop to
Demo it out. I wrote part of the song when we were filming in Umbrella. Like, this is a song where the chords and some of the lyrics happened at different periods of time, and it got stitched together. So I recall I didn't have like a bridge for a long time, and then we were in not even like the apartment where we spent most of the season shooting, but we were in a hotel, and I was playing the song on the acoustic guitar, and I figured out what the bridge would be. But that was when it like existed as a demo in my computer. Okay, sorry. You were helping me out. You were saying what I haven't mentioned yet.
So, all right. So
because I know everything, but I don't know what you don't know.
At what point did you start recording pieces? And was the first piece drums with Tom Thumb?
Right. Okay. So the way that I work, because I'm not a band in a rehearsal room, I can't play all of the different elements at once. I have to demo it out and then revise the demo until I have a group of instruments that are all playing different things, and I'm happy. And then I start redoing the demo in a final recording. So yeah, the very first thing we would have recorded would have been drums, and then I probably added a piano in there, probably added various sound effects in there, started building out the electronic drum production that precedes the live drums. And then I tried recording the electric guitars a few times, and it wasn't quite working. Really, even once even in the mix, the guitars were a struggle to get it to do that thing. And a thing that I learned there is like a big element of intensity in a song is cymbals, drums. So like part of that guitar tone intensity is just a crash cymbal blending with the frequencies in a way where the entire frequency spectrum is in your face. So I'm getting a little too technical, but I probably did drums first and then piano and then synths and electric guitars and acoustic guitars.
And with guitars, is this the one where you're
vocals,
chasing the
background vocals?
The scarecrow tone?
No, this is this tone was called Nemesis. Gerard said the tone was called Nemesis, and I know it's on Sleep. I don't know what other songs on the Black Parade it's
Gerard
on.
gave you this guitar tone?
He didn't give it to me. He helped me chase it because he was like, "Yeah, it's an amazing thing to play through that." And
What, he told you how to achieve it with what pedals?
he told me what he remembered, and then he put me in contact with the engineer who told me what he remembered. Based off of that information and other things that were online, I sort of did my best to, recreate basically that intensity. Like it has to do with filling out frequency.
Was any of the tone achieved with Aaron or before Aaron?
I met Aaron trying to achieve the tone as well.
Okay, so
I went over to Aaron's house and recorded a bunch of guitars.
Aaron is such a guitar tone expert
Yeah.
that if you hadn't achieved it, so Aaron did help.
Yes, but I didn't keep anything. I went over to Aaron's house, I recorded a bunch of guitars, and I'm like, this is not quite the right thing. The guitar tone took a long time because it literally has to do with filling out every pocket of frequencies, like in the audible range of hearing.
Okay.
Like that's how you get that intensity thing.
So when did the bass come in?
When did the bass come in? You're all about that bass.
Your daddy likes bass.
No treble.
All bass.
I love this bass part so much. In the bridge, it's doing a fun thing that it made me happy. The bass has a little bit of like Nirvana influence because I heard Chris Novoselic talk about how he was writing a counter melody to the vocal, and I was like, I should do that.
Did you record this bass on your new bass guitar or on an old one?
Old bass guitar.
But
it doesn't matter because it's basically just really distorted.
Old vibey.
It's basically really distorted, and did not need a
precision.
Well, I got a bass since then because the other songs required a cleaner
precision bass
tone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called a P bass.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, this was recorded on a Squier bass with a PV Decade amplifier, which guitar nerds will find funny, I'm sure. And yeah, but in the mix, what I ended up doing is just redesigning the tone of the bass and the guitars to fit different pockets.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a struggle to get like it to blend right.
How long
with the drums and everything else, but also you got to hear the vocal the whole time.
How long after recording did it take you to produce and mix? And did you have to go back and re-record any parts of it?
Well, I would call re-recording part of the production process.
Yes, but
I redid the electric guitars a few times.
Okay.
Like there was an initial round of guitars that I took and I made a blend of them, and that's still in the session, but there's like 5 more guitars on top of it. There's probably like 10 guitar tracks.
Goodness.
That people hear. Yeah, it's, big Smashing Pumpkins thing. Layers and layers of guitars that then influenced Nirvana and, eventually you get to Black Parade. My reference for like Black Parade really is like intensity. Like Sleep just has that screaming thing where even at a low volume it's, you get all these beautiful harmonics. So anyway, the guitars I re-recorded a few times. I think that was like the only thing that I had to re-record. I think everything else I pretty much, once I decided on the performance, I kept it.
Okay.
But it took a long time because there's like 100 layers in that song.
I know on a lot of songs.
There's like a bunch of synth tracks that were like, there's probably 20 of them, and I made a blend called synth.
Yeah.
So
I know on a lot of songs you would record performances of various instruments and then go back and re-record them once you learn new things. So I figured Dream's probably like the most complex song. Is Dream the most complex song on your album?
It depends on how you define complex. It probably has the most tracks of any song on the album.
So along with Dream, you had two other heavy rock songs. And what were they called? The End.
Yeah, there's one called The End, and there's a song called Scarred, which has a few different forms. Wait, so Patreons will see this tomorrow?
No, tomorrow's Friday, so they'll see it
2 days,
Saturday.
sorry. Forgot what day I was in. No, but okay, so some people will see this tomorrow, and other people will see it a long time from now. Okay. So the very first thing I did for Dream was I played piano, and I found a chord progression that ended with the lyric dream. Something, something to dream. And I could feel and see the song before I knew what the rest of the words were and what each section would be. And so I was building out this song from this one moment, figuring out how to make it make sense. And it took me a while. Like I remember I had the piano going in my computer on a demo with different layers of background effects and sample drums before I ever had the guitar for the chorus or the chord changes for the bridge. Like I had a demo of this before I figured out what the bridge would be.
Oh, by the way, it's really important that you all join Aidan's mailing list. And the reason why is Bands in Town tells us what cities you live in, and we've got a good handle of where his tour will go based on where his followers are in Bands in Town, because that gives us your general city location. So we can plan tours based on concentration of fans. However, in order to be able to reach you for ticket sales and pre-sales, which are really important prior to actually booking a club, we have to do pre-sales. We need everybody interested in seeing you live to join your mailing list. So, and with the mailing list we'll put out, we'll say, hey, we're coming to Mexico City on this date. If you're interested, go to this website and indicate your interest. And then later we'll say, now we're opening up, the ticket booth for pre-sales. We'll do that. And if there's any other special opportunities, it'll all come through the mailing list. So people need to go to your website at aidanrgallagher.com.
Ferry let off. We are home. I didn't say any of this when I was on a ferry. I came back to the car, and now we're in a moving car. And we got the AC blowing. And I still don't know if they'll be able to hear me.
We'll just hold the camera close to your face instead of setting it up.
All right, hello. Hello there. Where is he? Where's that headphone?
I'm Smiley McFarlane.
Smiley McFarlane.
It's my fictitious character.
Sounds a lot like Seth MacFarlane. How to put it?
Dogs and cats living together.
Dogs and cats. Wait, what? That came out of nowhere. Okay, so.
Back to the dashboard, man.
I'm going back to the dash. I don't know why I prefer it. I don't know why I'm speaking in this voice.
It'll work for about 5 seconds until the light turns green.
So I got 5 seconds.
So listen, we got to tell you about the mailing list. We know you all are following him on Bands in Town, and that tells us what city you're in. However, that doesn't help us with pre-sales.
Are you angry?
Yes.
You sound angry. this is a promo video for my new song, Dream. It just came out today, and I think you all should go listen to it. I think you should add it to your playlists. I spent many years working on this song, trying to get it right the way I felt it in my heart should feel. There's like hundreds of layers in there. It's a wall of sound, rock guitars, rock song. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't heard it, please go stream it. Please add it to your playlists. And the only other thing I wanted to say on this is, if you want me to go tour your city, please go to aidanrgallagher.com to join the mailing list. The mailing list is how we're going to figure out various touring information. There will be pre-sale offers, stuff like that. So go join the mailing list, go stream Dream, and go add Dream to your playlists, please, and thank you.
No, I was yawning, but making it photographable.